Hey guys, what's up? MurderofBirds here, and Free Eternal Summer Episode 7. Very shocking as well as hype worthy, and I'm really looking forward to what's going to be happening as well. We got some great development with some other characters as well, but in the shocking department, I was kind of surprised. I'm not going to lie. I was surprised that Iwatobi didn't end up winning the Medley Relay, and I can't be surprised at the same time. Like, that's why it was more of a shock to me, because Samezuka really went through. They were 100% serious about this. Rin, Sosuke, Momo, and that other guy on their team, they actually went in and they they dominated essentially. Iwatobi needs a lot more work, and I feel like this loss to them is a wake-up call, because granted, they still made time. They made preliminary time to still go to regionals, but now their crisis is, if Samezuka is able to beat them in the Medley Relay, what's to say that's not going to happen the exact same way at regionals? So I'm expecting, between from now until the next event, until the regional event, I'm expecting, some upgraded development in terms of better regimens. Haru also came through at the end of the episode with a different type of regimen to compensate for Samezuka's great teamwork and the fact that they all believe in each other, and they believe that if they work together as a team and they cherish all the moments that they have, that they can eventually surpass this and come out on top, and nationals will still be within their grasp. So I love, it's free. It's what we've come to expect. The bromance between these characters, the the adversaries, and overcoming obstacles. So that was something that was really awesome. The medley really also was hype. My heart was pumping, my heart was pounding, and it was definitely hype. And I'm still glad that they made it to regionals. Also, if any of you guys, I forgot to mention this at the very beginning, but how do you guys feel about that preview? I thought that preview was really funny, and it's kind of interesting because now I don't really understand like the whole thing about behind that preview, but the whole kiss me perfect body, it was very funny to me. I laughed a few times, so I'm wondering how that's going to pertain to and what that's going to pertain to in the next episode. But the theme of this episode to me was definitely what Ray and Haru were talking about, with the whole thing about free and what that means to Haru, and why I titled this episode review "Free at Heart." A lot of characters in this episode were definitely revealing a lot of their true selves and what they truly want out of, the swimming or their career paths or with their friendships or anything like that. Momo's getting a lot of recognition now because of the fact that he was one of the people who was chosen to go into the medley relay. He's getting a lot of recognition from everybody else and instilling their hope and beliefs in him, as well as Nitori doing the same thing. So I feel like he as a character, he has a lot of potential because he is, I believe, a first year or he's either a first year or a second year. I'm not really quite sure. But the fact that he's still very young and he has this great potential to live up to his older brother, who was the former captain, I feel like he just has a lot of potential, and that's something that he's going to establish and make apparent to people on his team, and that's essentially who he is at heart. Nitori, this episode, he's pretty bummed out by the fact that Momo, a former student, which I think actually Momo is a first year, but he is a upperclassman, and he got surpassed by someone like Momo. He's being discouraged about, he aspires to be like Rin, and the fact that he worked all this hard, he tried as hard as he could. He did all this extra practice and training on his own, and he still wasn't able to make time to go and to be a part of the medley relay. But I like how Sosuke gave him that little chin up, like, don't let this one situation falter you. If you want to be able to swim with Rin, who's to say that this is the last chance that you have? Who's to say that down the road you won't become a great swimmer and you and Rin will be able to meet once again, or even swim in general just as friends? I definitely like how Nitori really, this is really serious to him, and Rin is a great inspiration, and that just shows that Nitori is going to do whatever it takes, and that was encouragement on Sosuke's part to Nitori about, hey, just do what you want to do, don't let anything fall to you, learn from it, advance and progress and prosper. So I definitely like that. There was a little bit of scuffled and a very good dynamic interaction between Rin and Sosuke, one that we haven't seen since their encounters, or they had this little falling out in the past. But Sosuke was feeling that he still doesn't understand. He doesn't understand Rin. He doesn't understand how serious this is to Rin, of being a unified team and not worrying about times and just worrying about experiences and being together and increasing your friendships and your bonds with one another. And I gotta admit, I respect Sosuke a lot more now than what I have been previously, because of the fact that he came out and told Rin, he was like, listen, all right, I don't know your situation. I don't know how you feel. I don't understand how you feel towards, just having an organized team. And I understand you want it to be serious and whatnot, but I just don't understand. I don't understand what relationship you want all of us to share. I don't know your relationship between Teamy with Toby. I don't know what's going through your mind as a captain. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm not going to pretend to be put in a situation. I'm not going to force this on myself. I'm not going to pretend that I understand when I don't. So, and that ultimately means that he's trying. You know what I mean? He's not forcing the situation. He's not being fake about it. He's not trying to sympathize or empathize with whatever Rin's trying to form with his team and trying to take as being a captain. And I gotta respect him for that. I really do. It's that something that he's just looking for and searching for. It's something that he doesn't have himself. He is a lot more logical than everybody else in the series. He's a lot more hard on himself, and he doesn't have that emotional. He doesn't have that emotional side to him. He's not open. We know very little of his past. We know very little of his childhood, besides the fact that him and Rin are friends, and that's because that's just who he is as a person. And granted, that's who he is. He's still trying to understand his best friend in the whole scenario. So definitely got to give respect to Sosuke. It's not hard. It's not easy for him. It's not easy for him to just go with the flow of things, because ultimately he just needs to find common ground with all of these characters. So the fact that he is trying, and Rin also was like, it doesn't matter how long it takes. You can keep swimming with us until you find the answer, because as a friend I want you to. That was something that was very heartwarming for me, and that whole interaction between Rin and Sosuke just made their relationship and development that much more greater for my take as well. But the best part of the episode for me personally was Ray. All right, Ray is my favorite character. Just his overall persona of being concerned for his teammates, with being concerned for Nagisa a few episodes back, and then this episode with Haru just not knowing what he wants to do with his life, and the fact that Free comes to his mind, and Ray doesn't really know how to feel about that. It's something that's a very perplexing situation, but Ray went to Haru and provided the best kind of, I guess, when I say advice he could, which I took wholeheartedly, and that is be free. Be true to yourself. Don't change for anyone. Don't change for anyone's agenda. Don't change for anyone's approval or acceptance. Do what you want to do. You know what I mean? And I feel like this entire time, Haru hasn't been wanting to join other swimming schools or call back these scouts or do anything pertaining to swimming, because he swims for his own needs. He swims because he wants to, because that's something that he resonates with and that he loves. But like Ray said, and I think Haru took this to heart, and I think Haru took this into consideration when Ray was like, no matter what you do in life, and this isn't just for the episode, this is for anything. Like, this is personally to you, to me, to anyone. Whatever you do in life, as long as you don't change who you are, as long as you don't change for anybody else other than yourself, and for your own growth and your own potential, and you do what you love, you'll be free. If you do what you love versus something that you're doing because it's painfully agonizing but you have easy benefits from it, ultimately you're going to be happy with what you want to do, not what's best for everybody else. You know what I mean? Or something in that sense. I really kind of don't really understand where I'm going with this, but it's the sense that I understood what Ray was trying to say when he told Haru, hey, listen, no matter what you do, you'll be free, as long as it's beneficial to you and your happiness, and it's truly and honestly what you want to do, whether that's swimming, or you want to be a cook, or you want to go and further your education and go to a university. All that stuff is great. So that was something that was really awesome. I love the fact that Ray is always there to help out his buddies when they need it, and his laugh. He did his laugh. He's like, So I like that laugh is just so funny to me. But I definitely like that as well. But ultimately, the entire episode was great. We got development with a ton of characters, getting to see their true needs, wants, and desires amongst each other, amongst their team. Samizuka, Iwatobi going to regionals and hopefully having nationals in their grasp. I'd really great to see both of their teams going to nationals. Also, in the very end of the episode, it looks like Sosuke is going to, he's going off on his own little venture. the fact that we saw Go and that she saw him, I feel like he's going to go to Team Iwatobi and talk to them about the whole situation, or talk to them about, you know, Sosuke, about Rin's past regarding Team Iwatobi, or his past in general. I don't know, but that's just something that I took from this episode, that of that last bit of those last few moments of Sosuke. But let me know what you guys thought about the episode. I thought it was really great. I enjoyed it very much. Very shocking with the whole medley, but the fact that they're going to nationals and regionals and then hopefully nationals is pretty exciting as well. Great development with all the characters, especially Rin, Sosuke, Haru, and Ray as well. But let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments. Also, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And that's all I got, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Take care.